Alright, so welcome back everybody. We're here for another one of the IPA coach interviews, and today we're going to be talking with Ethan and the Calgary Flareons. So, Ethan, you kind of know the drill at this point, so why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your past league experience, or just how you are as a Pokemon player in general, what people need to know about you.
All right, so hey guys, this is my first ever draft style league I've been in. I'm 17, live in Canada, but yeah, this is my first league experience. So I watched a good amount of GBA and stuff like that. So I just really want to try it for a while. I have basically all the tiers, and I like to play all of them pretty equally. So,
Okay,
but yeah,
okay.
that's about it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So, well, how do you feel then about 'cause as you said, it's your first time going into the draft format. What do you but you of course you have, like you said, kind of done quite a lot of research into it. But what do you feel about it? How do you feel going kind of into the this new kind of experience for you?
I'm really excited and kind of nervous. I know a bunch of people in our league have had past experience. And I know a few people haven't as well. So I'm just really excited, but a bit nervous as well to see. I don't really know if I drafted well or not, or other people's drafts. I'm not 100% sure. Like,
Okay, okay.
yeah, so I don't know. I'm a little nervous, a little excited.
No, that's well, that's definitely the, I guess, feeling you want going into something like this, right? This is the feeling you want
Yeah.
going into something new, something kind of exciting, I suppose, or at least I'd hope it's exciting for you. But what kind of things do you think? Because like you said, you're kind of used to being a ladder player, right? So what kind of things do you think is going to be kind of difficult for you to transition from, from playing ladder to playing a draft-based format where you have to build your teams based around what your opponent has. You have to kind of expect sets that are relatively unexpected,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
I think it's going to be the prep. I think it's going to because I think I'm going to be too. I'm trying not to be, but I'm trying. I'm going to be too focused on those. Those most common sets. I'm going to think, okay, I have
Mm,
checks to these common sets and this stuff like that, but I might not be so much prepared for the uncommon stuff, the unprepared. So I don't know. I think I can, if I can keep my mind open and stuff like that, and then just kind of make sure I have, I don't know, just the prep. I guess is just not too much experience with that.
okay, fair enough. I mean, that's definitely a lot of things that the newer people to the draft format have trouble with.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, speaking of the draft though itself, for your draft right here, we went off straight with your mega, so mega pincer. So, um, what was kind of your thought process for Mega Pinsir? Because the first pick kind of tells a lot about the draft, a lot about the
Mm-hmm.
player, a lot about how they play and stuff like that. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your kind of justification for choosing Pinsir, and if you've used Pinsir a lot, if you're really good with it, stuff like that.
Well, just from watching a bit of the GBI, I've seen it do really well there. I've seen it in the MVP race most seasons, and it's just been a big threat. I've used a little bit with it. I haven't used it too much, but for me, I like having like it's just Mega Pins are something people are going to prep for every week. It's
Right.
definitely a threat for people, and it's something that can set up and sweep, and I really like that. Like I wanted to make sure I had that pressure mon that could set up and sweep, and if not checked properly, and something that people are going to have to definitely really prep for. And
Hmm.
also, it's one of those things where like I can kind of have it on my team. People will make a pincer prep really heavily for that, and then not bring it, and then kind of play around there. But I don't know. I think it's just a great Pokemon Limited League format. It's fast. It hits hard. It's got actually decent bulk. Well, the 4 times weakness to rocks and stuff like that. But I don't know. I'm pretty happy about it.
Okay, no, yeah, that makes I can definitely see where you're coming from right there, and that's a kind of an interesting idea as well, where that you kind of mentioned Mega Pinsir being one of the Pokemon that you have to prep for, or you're going to be in kind of a
Mm-hmm.
lot of trouble. Kind of an interesting thing that I want to point out about the rest of your draft is you can almost say that about 90% of your draft as well.
Yeah.
Mega Pinsir being, of course, one of the most threatening Pokemon in your draft, if not,
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion, the most threatening.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
looking at everything else in the draft, there's pretty much a ton of things right here that are nothing you can really just not prep for. There's a
Yeah.
lot of things that you have to put a lot of prep for. Things like Raikou, things like Mamoswine, things like Entei, Zangoose, Gothitelle, all of these things are, you don't prep for them if you don't expect them. You're going to have a lot of trouble, but at the same time, if you spend too much time preparing for one Pokemon, then that may give rise to a whole other Pokemon to just take advantage of that.
Yeah, definitely.
But kind of on that note, kind of when I first kind of saw the draft, it really struck me as a very interesting team. It's got a lot of really pure offense. It's got a lot of really interesting offensive things, and then it's got a few pretty interesting defensive things as well. So one of the things I kind of wanted to not bring up, but kind of ask your opinion about the draft was, what would you say there's, I mean, because there are a few kind of not uncommon, but there are a few, lesser seen Pokemon here. So would you say there's, kind of underrated Pokemon on your draft? Would you say there's some Pokemon on your draft that people may be sleeping on? And, yeah, I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. The two that come to mind would be Shiftry and Zangoose. I'm thinking like most people see Shiftry as just like my defogger. I needed a Rapid Spinner and a defogger with Mega Pinsir, but I'm looking at Shiftry. He can run specially offensive or physically offensive. The dual stab of Dark and Seed Bomb or Grass, and then just a stab knockoff user. It's not the strongest mon, but I think people will just kind of sleep on it a bit. Think it's just always going to be defog 3 attacks or like that, but it's definitely something that can set up. It's got Nasty Plot, it's got Seed Bomb, or why do I keep saying Seed Bomb?
So best move in the game.
But it's got Nasty Plot, it's got Swords Dance. Yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. And it's got Sucker Punch. And then Zangoose, just looking at it, I was really looking for something for my last pick. And it's just got a lot of coverage options, to be honest. It's just got, here, let's see if I can pull it up here, but it's got lots of options. I know it gets Seed Bomb off the top of my head. That's why I was thinking that. It gets X Scissor. It gets
for sure. It gets stuff like Fire Punch for stuff like Scissor.
Ice Punch, Focus Punch. If I want to be that guy, some Focus Punch. We got Poison Jab. We got Rock Slide, Shadow Claw. Just a lot of good options for it.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
I'm pretty happy about that. It's got a decent attack stat, decent speed. So yeah, I think those are the two underrated ones on my team.
Okay. I tend to agree with you, as a matter of fact. I'm a huge fan of Zangoose myself. So, now being a ladder player, a lot of ladder players, and I mean, I say ladder player not to kind of put anyone in a category, because I myself am fairly new to the format. But now, when I say ladder player, I kind of mean your playstyle on the ladder. A lot of people kind of stick to one or two kind of playstyles on the ladder format, whereas in draft you kind of have to expand into different playstyles that you're not always comfortable with. So coming from ladder, what is your most comfortable playstyle?
I think the most comfortable would be balanced. I like having my walls to switch into, but I also like having some offense here and there. So I'd say balance would be the one I'm most comfortable with. Have a couple of my special wall, my defensive wall, have my special attackers, my sweepers. Just kind of a balanced team like that, I guess, is my most comfortable position.
Okay, and that's definitely a very good playstyle to be using just in anywhere, in pretty much any tier and any format, as a matter of fact. But on the note of that, your defensive core, why don't we bring up strengths and weaknesses on your team? I guess we can start with maybe, just again, we don't want to be going too specific, but maybe strengths and weaknesses, maybe about your defensive core, your offensive core, maybe a few things here and there. What do you think what do you think you can bring to the table? What do you think you are going to be able to deal with quite easily, and what do you see maybe hard to deal with in the future?
Yeah. I'm thinking my team, the strength is definitely, it hits, I like to think, pretty hard on the physical side, especially.
I agree with that, yeah.
Yeah, with Pinsir, Mamoswine, Entei, they can just hit really, really hard. Great that way. And then with Raikou, really on the special side. The weakness, I would say, is my bulk. I was really worried. That's why I think I picked up Gothitelle in the second last round there, just because I needed something, like Aromatisse is bulky, can be bulky, Blastoise can be bulky, Aggron is bulky on the physical side, but I need something I need some real bulk, but I don't know. I think he was all right there, but I think that's definitely one of the weaknesses is my wall core. I don't think it has the greatest synergy in the world. But yeah, we'll see how that goes from a couple of weeks down the road.
Yeah, for sure. One more thing I kind of want to bring up, not bring up as well. One more kind of thing I kind of want to ask you about, because I know a lot of people were having trouble with people
Mm-hmm.
taking picks that they kind of wanted like one turn before or two turns before. Were there any
Yeah.
were there any picks that you really wanted but ended up losing? It doesn't have to be like right before, but were there any things you had your eye on that
Yeah.
you weren't able to get?
I feel like I was sniped a good amount. Especially my third pick. I wanted Garchomp, and that was picked. And then I'm like, okay, Landorus, similar thing, similar typing.
Hmm.
Landorus was taken from me, and then I was really stuck on what to get. And I'm like, okay, Tyranitar. That was picked for me.
Oh, I remember.
So I went with Mamoswine. I was really looking for that ground rock kind of coverage there, but
Hmm.
yeah. So I was sniped like 4 times in that round. Shaman, I wanted that. Got taken from me. Skunk Tank. I really wanted Skunk Tank, and then I wanted Drapion, and then of course who was right before me and picked Drapion.
Ah, yes. That's one less thing that switches into
Yeah.
Gengar.
Those are just the ones on the top of my head that I can think of. Uxie I kind of wanted, but yeah, that's off the top of my head. That third round though, that one really
Yeah, that one was
had a
actually, yeah, I actually remember that. That was all over the
yeah,
place.
just had a really
What's that, sorry?
massive draft after that.
All right, and I think the last thing that
Really
might
had to reorganize my draft after that and fix some things around.
yeah, no, I think we all know that feeling, you know. But one last thing that might be a nice thing to kind of touch on really quick is the draft analysis that we
Mm-hmm.
have from our external sources here. So in Bob's ranking, he placed you. Let me see if I can pull it up here. He actually placed you third in his power ranking, and Frickett placed you. I probably should have had these up. Yeah, Ethan, he placed you 8th on frigates, and
Mm-hmm.
Jesse actually placed you 6th as well. So you were placed above within the top 6 top 6 positions in 2 of the 3, and you were within the top 8 for pretty much all 3 of them. So what do you kind of think about that? What's your opinions on that?
I was really surprised to see me at third. Um, Even at 6th too. I think my dress, it's solid. I think it's all right, but
Hmm.
definitely third. I was really surprised. It's definitely pretty cool to see my draft there. I don't think I was going to be like bottom 10 initially, but I think I'm pretty happy about it. It's nice 8th. Like I'm happy with 8th. I think that's great. Top half of the league is awesome. So no, I'm pretty happy about it overall.
No, for sure. Well, definitely glad that that worked out for you, and I think that should be good for now. And we look
Mm-hmm.
forward to, as a matter of fact, I look forward to seeing you in the first week of the IPA league itself tournament.
Yeah.
All right, I'll see you around, man.